Hey kids, Grandpa here. In this episode I show you just how great the fishing is in Paradise Cove, Alaska. So we're out here fishing in this beautiful anchorage, and I wanted you to see this process just so you can't claim bullshit. So first thing in the morning, I've not fished at all yet. Here's my rod. Have not hooked any bait on yet. I'm assuming this is going to be as good as it was last night, but we'll find out. So I use these little herrings for bait, and all I do is I cut it to, first chunk I use is just the head. Simply take the hook and through the eyes, hook on like that. It's just that simple. That's all I do. I have my little fishing towel here. Wipe the fish guts off my hand. Now I drop it in. Now it takes a while to get down because I'm in, 70 feet of water or so. So we'll just let the line out. I don't know if you can see that, but the line's going out. Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. There we go. Line's going out. And we're still going down, still going down, still going down. There, now we're on the bottom. So I crank in enough line just so I can feel the bottom. There's the bottom. And I just kind of hold it right on the bottom. I let the jig sit on the bottom. I just put a little bit of tension on the rod, just so if someone grabs the jig, I can kind of feel it. And there we go. There's the bite. Just that fast. I think they got my bait. Come on. Yeah, I got some little guys playing with maybe. Let's drop back down to the bottom. Oh, maybe still not. There we go. I don't think they got my bait. Yep, I think they got my bait. Now I gotta crank it back up 70 feet. Yep, no bait. Just like that. Alright, this time putting on a tail section. See that? Tail section. I gotta do some trolling with this line. I gotta troll this line out behind the boat. Just let every bit of it out and then reel every bit of it back in with nothing but a big weight and a swivel down back there, just to get all the twists out of the line. I don't know how other folks do it, but that's how I do it. This is new line on here, so it's got a lot of memory from being on the spool. Oh, Lily, be quiet. You had a chance to come up here. You didn't want to. As soon as I close the door where you can't come up, now you're whining. You'll come back up in a little bit. Right now I'm filming a little fishing section. Alright, so we're going down, going down, going down. And not quite on bottom. There, on bottom. Nope, not quite on bottom. Still going. Now we're on bottom. Well, I had a bite just as soon as it hit the bottom. I reeled up too much. For some reason, they clean the tail sections off a lot faster than the head sections. I think because the way the hook goes into the tail section, there's not enough meat there to give it a lot of protection. Just making sure I'm right on the bottom. There we go. I like fishing right on the bottom because that gets me down to where I might catch a flounder or halibut, which is my target species today, but I think I'm in a rocky area down there, so I'm probably going to end up catching rockfish. And I think I just donated that piece of bait. Oh, coming up like it's a little heavy. Oh, that's a fish, it's a little one. That's a lot of line down there. Whoa. No, I'm still intact. There we go. Like I said, I got to straighten this line out. Too many tangles. I think the jig I got on is about a 3/8 of an ounce. So just under a ½ ounce. Maybe it's a ½ ounce. Maybe it's a 1 ounce. I don't know. I'll have to look at the package again. Look at me trying to be all Mr. Big Serious Fisherman, huh? Yeah. You know, I'm just an old guy from the Midwest, accustomed to fishing for bluegill. Grew up in New York on Long Island fishing for flounders. I really liked fishing for flounders. Fishing for flounders is, well, not too different than this. I lived in the town of Port Washington, and I used to ride my bike to the town dock. And in the town dock, we'd jig up a heavy weight with what was that? With a flounder hook, and then cast them off the town dock out into the bay, and then sit there and try to catch flounder. Did pretty good actually sometimes. Sometimes I'd go and not catch anything. But for the most part, if I caught the tide rate and the bite rate, I did pretty good. Oh, Lily, be quiet. Make sure I'm on the bottom. Huh? Well, fishing's a little slower today than it was last night. Isn't that the way of it, right? Got the camera on and now I'm not catching anything. Maybe these fish don't like to eat first thing in the morning. They're not breakfast fish. Maybe they're brunch fish. Part of that crowd, you know. Get up in the morning, they don't have anything but a cup of coffee and they run out and then have a bagel around 11 o'clock. Looking around the anchorage, I'm still the only person here. Oh, that's a bird over there making that noise. Couple of birds over there. Don't know what they are. Some log floated into the middle of the bay. I got this morning. At first I got all excited thinking maybe it was a whale over there resting or sleeping in the surface, but it's just a log over there. Ooh, there I hear the first motor. I hear, oh no, never mind. Yeah, that's the refrigeration pump on the boat. Don't hear anything out here. Don't hear any other boats. Don't hear any people talking. No chainsaws. Just perfect, pristine, quiet. Except for me making a bunch of noise. Oh darn. Maybe they don't like tails. Maybe they only like heads. That's fishing, right? Wrong bait, wrong day. Of course, I have the camera on. Now I'm not catching anything. They say the king salmon are just starting to come in now. Kind of a big deal up here. I must admit, salmon is pretty tasty. My favorite way of making salmon is I fillet it out and portion it out into, you know, dinner-sized portions. And then cook it on the grill with a little barbecue sauce, believe it or not. I don't marinate it or teriyaki it or any of that horrible stuff. No, I just put it straight out on the grill and then baste it with a little bit of good barbecue sauce. You know, in traditional, you know, like the hickory smoked, you know, whatever, brown sugar hickory type sweet sort of barbecue sauces. For some reason, it just really goes together quite nicely. Not much finer eating than that. Especially fresh, fresh, fresh. Like tonight, I'm going to have rockfish. I caught that one rockfish yesterday. I'm going to fillet that here in a little bit. I don't like filleting them. I like putting them on ice for a little bit and then filleting them. You know, that seems like they taste better. I had folks tell me I should gill them and bleed them out. Maybe I'll try that next time. I'll gill one and bleed it out and see. But you know, when I do them this way, the meat's just as white as can be, so I don't know what the gain is. Oh, look at this. Unbelievable. I can't believe I'm gone this long without a bite. I mean, I am right on the bottom. Well, I'll try the unmanned approach and see if that works any better. There, perfect setup. Got a little tension on it. It's on the bottom. The slight rocking of the boat is making the tip down and up and down and up, so I can keep a pretty good eye on it and see if we get any bites. In the meantime, look at this anchorage. Let me show you around a little bit. Look at that. There you can see those birds that were making the noise earlier. Seagulls, I guess. Or some kind of waterfowl. Those are seagulls flying there, but there's a bunch laying in the water over there. But look at that. Nobody here but just little old me. Nobody here but us chickens. And it's just quiet. I mean, really, the only thing I hear right now besides my own loud voice is I hear the pump kicking on for the refrigeration on the boat. And Miss Lily whining down below. Although she seems to have stopped whining. Nope, there she's going. She suffers from separation anxiety. She can't stand to be away from me for 2 minutes. She's got to be up my butt all the time when we're on the boat. I don't know why on the boat specifically. I know in the cabin, she's pretty much up my boat. If I walk outside, she has to be right with me. If I'm in the cabin, she has to be right with me. I mean, right at my side, right underneath my feet. She stays really close to me all the time. But in the cabin, she's getting a little braver now. She'll go out by herself and she'll walk around and, you know, search out the area and look around. But on the boat, she likes to be right under my feet all the time. And I mean, seriously, if I sit down, she has to be right under my feet. If I'm trying to walk, she has to be right under my feet. If I'm walking up and down the steps of the gangway here, she has to be right under my feet, which is kind of dangerous for me because, you know, as I'm old and out of shape and not as steady as I used to be. And I don't know. She's going to make me fall. I yell at her and try to train her to get away in certain places where I know it's not going to be a good idea, but well, I guess that's the benefit of having a pet, huh? So good morning this morning. I woke up and I had 2 of the little mandarin orange things. Oh, I got dog hair all over me. 2 mandarin oranges, a banana, and some cherries that were from California. Isn't that ridiculous that I'm up here in Alaska eating cherries that were harvested in a farm in California? They were good though. They were good. So that was my breakfast. Now, breakfast back at the cabin would have been bacon, eggs, some fried potatoes, and toast. And that's one of the reasons why I'm still so fat. One of the reasons why I'm trying to get out on the boat. For some reason, when I'm out on the boat, I just eat better for myself. I just take better care of myself. I don't know why, but I do. So, well, this is getting long and I'm not getting any bites, so I might as well save some of this film for later. Bye, y'all. Well, there you have it. The best laid plans of mice and men. Sometimes it doesn't quite work out the way you'd hope, but anyhow, I wanted to keep it real, so this is real. This is what happens when you get up early and decide you're going to go shoot some fishing videos. Well, it's happened sometimes, so anyhow, stay tuned. There'll be some more great footage coming up. If you like this thing, please do like and subscribe, and we certainly would appreciate it. We'll catch you later. Bye. Hey kids, in this episode, Grandpa goes fishing, or at least I try. I wanted to show you what it was really like to go out fishing, and I'd caught a whole bunch of fish the night before, and I figured, well, this will be easy. I'll just go out and drop the line in and catch some fish, but no, that's not. Oh, crap. Hey kids, Grandpa here. Hey, in this episode, I show you just how great the fishing is in Paradise Cove here in Alaska. Hey, kids, Grandpa here. Hey, in this episode, I show you just how good the fishing is here in Paradise Cove, Alaska. Be sure to watch this. That's stupid.